Okay, so the target of this module is to have an understanding of what CSS can do for our site, and we'll also be including some JavaScript. Okay, so we're going to start adding some CSS to the blend. What CSS is, it cascading style sheets. So essentially we can use CSS and we can have a separate markup and styling code from the HTML. So you're seeing some different things HTML can do, like sizes of headers and date and time and this type of stuff. But CSS is advantageous because we use a separate document or sheet for that and link it to the HTML file which you saw. Well, I actually asked you to do that at the very beginning, even though we hadn't actually looked at it, and generally we do that in the head. Okay, so a little bit later on we're going to have another little look at adding that into the heads where we have all of our bits and pieces. So I'll actually, as I'm talking, so it's a simple link tag to a web page, and inside, let me just pause. This says that the layout CSS, which is the name of this, this first one's normally style sheet, but doesn't matter, is in the CSS folder. So we're thinking about our folder structure. Right now I don't have it because we're only just starting to make the CSS, but I'm going to make a new folder and I'm going to call that CSS. And inside there is where I'm going to save my style sheet. Okay, so I'll just let you have a little read of that. The beauty of a CSS, all pages using that style sheet, so the ones that are linked, as I've just shown you, can be updated at the same time. You don't have to go into each separate page. Remembering that can become quite cumbersome when you've got more than, or we've got 3 pages in our site, but when there are loads, you can imagine making a change to, I don't know, how your headers look. You might want a different font or something, and what you have to do is you have to go into each page individually. You'll start forgetting things this way. So there's several ways that we can implement CSS into our style sheets. I'm just going to show you those now. Okay, so we have inline style. So you know when we had these paragraph tabs, you can actually put a style in line. So literally whatever's within the 2 paragraph tags. The opening tag will have the style specified. So in this case, I'm saying it's going to be, this paragraph's going to be color blue. And then, you know, the normal text that you would write in there. And then you close your paragraph tag. So I'm going to just show you what that looks like. Okay, so here I just added that in, so I'm just going to save that now because it's already a HTML file. Just going to go into the folder. I'm going to just view that in Chrome. Where we are, here we are. And you should see a paragraph that is blue. Where is it going to be? It should be at the top here. Welcome to Joe's coffee shop. There it is there, but it didn't save it blue, which is strange. Okay, I'm not 100% sure what just happened there, but I did take it out of the span and I put it back into the body. I'm just going to go and see. I just have no idea because suddenly it started to work. But what we're doing is we're changing the font in the paragraph to blue. So this is where it worked outside the span, and again that's now inside the span and it works fine. So I'm not quite sure what the problem was a minute ago, but this is inline style, and when you can add any kind of style based on what you're going to see later inline as well. Why wouldn't you do it? Because if you're just doing this for an one-off thing, you know, you don't want to go and change a style sheet for a whole element, that's all right. But if you're going to make an amendment on something that can affect everything that you see on the page, it doesn't make sense to put it in line. Okay, so another way that you can style with CSS is in the head. So in the head tag you can actually add your stylings. You need the style tag in the same way that you did for inline, okay? But this time it looks more like what it would look like on a cascading style sheet, to be fair, and then you just put it in the head, and there could be other things in there, but it's just an example of what I mean. Here, this will affect the whole page, so all paragraphs will have blue font if you do it this way. It's slightly better than inline in terms of CSS being able to affect a larger area, but again, still not brilliant because it will only affect that document that has that styling in the head tag. So very quickly, I'll go up to the head tag, so not the header, which is like a title, but the head tag of the page, and then I will add this CSS styling. So what's supposed to happen now is anywhere that there's a paragraph tag inside this document will have a blue font. Okay, so I'm just going to save that. Let's hope it works, and I'm just going to refresh that. So it's anywhere. Do you see? That should have gone blue. Let me just say. Oh no. The reason that didn't go blue, my bad, is because I should have checked the notepad file. Got to look for where we see a paragraph tag. So there's one. That's the amount of money. If you remember, I deleted the other p tag, so that was actually a section. It wasn't actually a paragraph. It was a header tag. So I'm just going to add a paragraph tag in here just to prove it. So I've not styled the tag, but it's going to be blue font because the styling is in the head. Okay, so the inline style, we're not doing that now. I'm just trying to prove to you, don't know what I'm doing here. Yeah, I'm just trying to show you how paragraphs can be affected. Okay, so note that our store, so file and save, and let's go to that HTML file and reload. So I'm blue, and now remember I didn't do any paragraph tagging. Blue, but that style has been dictated from the head of the document in the paragraph tag there. So I'll take that out, and then you will see when I reload that it's gone back to black again because it's no longer being affected by the style that I placed in the header. Okay, so inline styles can override some of this stuff, and that's the real point of the inline style. Do you know what I mean? You would use it if you want to override something that you've got affecting the whole page or the whole site in your CSS. Again, you can use it in the head of the document, probably for a similar reason. If you want to override something that's been affected by the overall styling of the website in the CSS, and it's just a local change that you want to make. Alrighty, so this we would definitely argue is the best way to work with CSS, and that's to reference a separate file, something I've spoken to you about already, but we're going to start looking at how to do that. The main thing here is that you have to understand the reason that this is the best way to do it is because you style a whole website at once, and when you amend it, you just go to one place to make your amends. Obviously, you can have hundreds of style sheets linked to your website. You just have to copy and paste this link and put it in the head of every page, and then the styling will be attached. As I said to you, it is always better to keep a folder with all your style sheets in. You can call them styles, or you can call it CSS. It's just something logical. Name it something logical. Okay. So we're going to move on now. So I've shown you the different ways that you can link a CSS. You can have it inline, which affects just that area. You can have it in the head, which generally affects the whole document that relates to the tag that you've added the style to. Or you can add it into a CSS file, which is a separate file that is linked to the page. And the link is in the header, okay? And just so that we're clear, the head tag is that all-important tag that contains all the things that the browser needs to read, that's at the very top of your page before the body tag. So the head tag opens and closes before the body tags start, and the body is everything that's going to be on your actual web page. So everything here is in the body. You don't even see what's in the head tag. The browser is using that.